Hi guys, we are still busy with isometric circles. We're on page 3, and in front of you you will see a whole lot of lines that might confuse you. I've constructed all these isometric squares with the construction of isometric circles, but I have not included the isometric circles, and I'd like to see that you will be able to successfully construct your own isometric circle on the said number isometric square. So let's have a look. How will we go about this? In the question or the instruction, it says draw an isometric circle on the isometric squares numbered 1 and 6. Number 1, the isometric square for number 1 will be this one over here. And we'll have number 6, which will be the very last one. So we'll be drawing our isometric circles within these two isometric squares. The trick here is going to see whether you can find the correct construction lines, use the correct interception points, and draw the correct arcs. Now if I look carefully over here, I have an intersection point from my obtuse to opposite center. So I'm going to be using this line here, and my obtuse to opposite center over there as well. So all along this line, somewhere on this line, I will be putting my compass point to draw my first arc. Now my opposite obtuse angle will be this one here. So if I'm going to be following that line over there, that's going to give me my obtuse to opposite center. And I'm also going to be finding that this is my obtuse to opposite center. Remember, I'm only focusing within the isometric square for number 1. So don't worry about these lines coming out over here. Right, so I found my two opposite centers, or sorry, my intersection points. I'm going to be using my arc tool, and I'm going to be pinpointing on the intersection point, opening up to the very perimeter and scribing my arc from that intersection point. Let's see if I have this correct. I will be using this intersection point over here. This is going to be the test for you guys to see whether you understand the actual construction of an isometric circle and whether you can find the correct points to work from. Right, I've got my first two arcs. I can already see where I'm going with this. I'm obviously going to be using my obtuse angle and joining the two sides on that end from there to there. Let me quickly find. There we go. And I'm going to be using that obtuse angle, joining that point over there to this point over here. Right, I've got the very first one. I also need number 6. So I'm going to need to focus. I'm going to look from my obtuse angle, find the two V's from my obtuse angle. There's one. This is going to be my next obtuse angle. And the V's from that obtuse angle will be those two. Remember, it goes from obtuse to opposite center of the opposite line. Obtuse to opposite center. Obtuse to opposite center. Obtuse to opposite center. Please use your 30-degree set square to find exactly which line you're going to be using. Now that I have those 2 points, I'm going to be using the arc tool of SolidWorks. I'm going to find my intersection point, open my compass, and simply scribe my arc from and to. I'm going to go to my second point. A little bit of focus needed here. From and to. we go. Right, I'm going to use my arc tool again. I'm going to follow up on this line over here. That is obviously my obtuse angle. I'm going to open it up so that I can join this point to that point. And this is the next obtuse angle I'm going to need to use. From this point sometimes it's a little tricky to get SolidWorks to go in the right direction, but there we go. Right, we've managed to get two isometric circles drawn on isometric square 1 and isometric square 6. They say include all center lines. You'll obviously include your center lines according to how you've been taught. And then there's one little instruction in the middle here that says join the two circles to form a cylinder. We know that two isometric circles can stand alone, but if we simply join the two circles with two lines at a tangent of the two circles, we'll be able to form a cylinder. Let's see how we go about doing this. I'll go to my line tool. You'll notice that there is the longest line that you can draw from an acute angle to the acute angle. If I had to draw a line from obtuse angle to obtuse angle, it still wouldn't be as long as this line over here. Therefore, we'll always be drawing or constructing a line from acute angle to acute angle in isometric square number 1 and for isometric square number 6. Where this line touches the actual arc, you'll notice at that point there, I will take that point, click and draw a line to where that longest line touches the arc of isometric circle and isometric square number 6. Already you can see the actual cylinder taking shape. I'm going to do the same over here. Notice, I'm going to zoom in on this fact over here, where that longest line touches the arc, that is where you will be lining up your ruler or your 30-degree set square, and you'll be joining this circle to this circle where that line also touches the arc. Right, that seems simple enough. Having two lines drawn, I could make two separate circles look like a cylinder. Yet there is something wrong with this. We're obviously not going to be seeing these lines, so we could delete them. I'm going to be using a trimming tool. Oh dear. And there we go. This was page 3, isometric circles and how to create a cylinder using two separate isometric circles, joining them with two lines. Thank you for joining me.